Hi there, Year 3. Hope you are doing okay. It is Wednesday. We are back onto our time topic. Based on your assessment, which you did really, really well on, and obviously had remembered such a lot since Year 2, you are now in Group 1 for time. So we want you to follow the Group 1 videos, and we want you to follow the Group 1 activities. So today, you showed us that you could look at the nearest 5 minutes in your assessment. We are going to look at the nearest minute. So this is telling the time exactly as we see it on the clock using the minutes. Now, if we can recap, we can remember that there are 60 minutes in an hour. We're going to have a quick look through a PowerPoint together to go look into how we tell the time to the exact minute. So if I just share the screen with you. Okay, so telling the exact time past the hour. I'll just move this over to here. Okay, so we're going to tell the exact time in minutes past the hour. We're going to know that the time is told as past the hour and to the hour. We're going to work on to the hour tomorrow. Know that clocks are marked at 5-minute intervals, which we'll look at together as well. Know quarter past, half past and quarter to, which you've shown that you do know. And know that addition and subtraction can help you to tell the exact time, which we'll go over as well together. Okay, so just a quick recap quiz. How many seconds are there in a minute? 1 minute. Do you know? How many seconds in a minute? There are 60 seconds in a minute. How many minutes are there in an hour then? I've just told you this right at the beginning. How many minutes in an hour? 60 minutes in an hour. Now that's quite easy to remember. 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour. How many days are there in a month? We haven't done the months of the year. And how many days in a month? How many days do you think there are in a month? Between 28 and 31 days in a month. So we know that there are 12 months in the year: January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. We're currently in the month of January. And I use this on my knuckles as a way to remember how many days are in each month, because each month has a different number of days. So if I start, I have to turn around and do it this way with you. Here on my little finger on my left hand, January is on my knuckle. That means it's got 31 days. February then is in between my two knuckles, and February is one on its own. It's got 28 days. Then we've got January, February. March is back on the knuckle, 31 days. January, February, March. April is in between the knuckles, 30 days. Back on the knuckle for May, 31 days. In between the knuckle for June, that means 30 days. And then I'm on my knuckle now for July, 31 days. And then I'm going to hop to the other hand and it goes straight back to a knuckle for August, 31 days. Then in between the knuckle for September, 30 days. Back onto my knuckle for October, has 31 days. In between the knuckle, where were we? November, 30 days. And then back onto my knuckle, last one for December, 31 days. So that's just a real quick, easy way of using your knuckles to tell you how many days are in each month. And the only odd one out there is February, because it has 28 days unless it is a leap year where it has an extra day. So every one of them, if it touches the knuckle, January, March, May, July, August, October and December, they have 31 days. And if it's in between the knuckle, they have 30 days, apart from February, because that's the odd one out. So it's just a quick way of remembering, and we're going off topic very, very slightly. So I will get back on track. Maybe that'll crop up in one of your 5-a-days coming up. So you'll remember, hopefully, how to figure that out. Okay, so another quick question, and you're going to need this, I think, coming up soon. Do you know how many days there are in a year? In a whole year? So it would mean we had to add up all those months together to find out how many days in a year. Any ideas? Maybe you could jot down what your guess is. There are 365 days in a year. And here's your leap year question. I've just told you this. So how many days would there be in a leap year then? We know that February has an extra day in a leap year. Nice and easy. I hope you got that one right. 366 days in a year. Okay, so these are just some of the key concepts of time we need to remember. And we'll keep recapping over the next 2 weeks as we're doing this topic. So telling the exact time. Knowing how to tell the exact time can be very useful. So I was going to have a look at a train here now. I don't know if you've ever got on the train before. Train times, they're going to use Japanese train times here, but train times in general are precise with their timings. Okay, so in Japan, these Japanese, they're called bullet trains, have a time and they're very precise. They're very rarely late. Now, I don't think we could probably say the same about our train network, but the timings are precise, and the train doors open for a minute or less than a minute, and they have to go again. So the doors shut and off they go. So if you are not there on the platform for that precise time, especially in Japan, you will miss your train. Okay, so it's you have to be there exact on the time. So it's very important that you're able to tell the time, especially if catching a train, down to the last minute. And that's what we're going to do today. So each clock has 4 lines between the numbers. These show the minutes. Now, when you looked at a clock on Monday for your assessment, you were looking just at these bigger numbers here on our analog clock face. And there are 12 numbers that go round. And we know, and I know that you know because you showed me in your assessment, that each one of these increments here represent 5 minutes. So 5 past, 10 past, 15 minutes past, 20 minutes past, 25 minutes past, 30 minutes past, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and back to 60 or 60 minutes in an hour. But if you've ever looked really closely to a clock, in between these bigger numbers, these bigger increments, there are 4 smaller dots, smaller lines. And these are not 5 minutes, but these are our 1 minute intervals. So you can see all the way around the outside of the clock, these mini lines represent 1 minute, and it goes all the way around, counting in ones, all the way around to 60 at the top. Okay, you can see that all the way around there. They represent our minutes. So if we look at the blue hand now, which is our minute hand, because it points to the minutes, we can see it is pointing at one of these really small little lines. Now, rather than go back to the beginning and start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the way around, a quick way of doing it is we know that this big number 1 represents 5 minutes. So we could start here. I can check that it says 5 there as well. 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. 8 minutes past what? What hour is it pointing to? Look at the hour hand. Here's our hour hand. 8 minutes past 12. Here we go. The blue hand is pointing to 8. That means that the exact time shown is 8 minutes past 12. Now, if I was going to write this on a digital clock, because I know that you looked at the digital times on your assessment, I would write this as 12, because the hour goes first, 12 ... not just 8, I would put in 08, 12:08, 8 minutes past 12. Let's have another go. So I'm not going to help you so much with this one. If you've got a little piece of paper in front of you, I want you to have a look at the blue line now, and on your own, try that little trick I did for you. Don't count all the mini bits in between. Look at the ones that you know, 5, 10, you can see it's represented on there. See if you can figure out what the time is now and write it down on your piece of paper. You can write it as a digital time, or you can write it as the analog time. just give you a minute. Okay, well done. So if I was looking at this, my hour is still 12, 5, 10, 11, 12. I make it 13 minutes past 12. Let's see if we were right. The blue hand is showing 13 minutes past 12. And if I was going to write that on a digital clock, I would write 12 dot dot 13. 13 minutes past 12, 12:13. Well done if you got that one right. Okay, so this is a little bit as I was just showing you. It's really important to look for points that you know. So looking for your quarter past, which we know is 15 minutes past, your quarter to, which we know is 45 minutes, your half past, which we know is 30 minutes, and then your 5-minute intervals, which is what I just said to you. So if, for example, the minute hand was pointing here somewhere on this clock, you wouldn't have to go all the way around here and go 5, 10, 15, 20. You know that when it's pointing to the 6, it's 30 minutes past. So you could just go 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, for example. So just using what you know about the clock to find out those minute intervals. And then you can count on or back to find the exact time. Okay, it's just what I was just saying. You can just use them as a little tool to help you. Okay, so let's try it out in this question together. Okay, so what exact time is it? I don't need to go counting all of the mini intervals here. I don't need to do that. What I can do is I know that here, number 3 is 15 minutes past, quarter past, 15 minutes. Just double check 15. And then from 15, I can count on 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 minutes past. But it's 19 minutes past what? What is the hour? That's right, it's 1. There's my hour hand pointing closest to the 1. 19 minutes past 1. How would I write that as a digital time? I hope you got that. It was 1 dot dot 19, 1:19, 19 minutes past 1. So what you could have done here is you could have gone to 20 and taken away 1. That's not how I did it, but you could have done it that way. So you could have said, we know 5, 10, 15, 20, and it's 1 less than 20. 20 take 1 is 19. You could have done it just like that. Showing us that the exact time here is 19 minutes past 1. Have another go at that. Okay, let's have a look at this one then. So, what exact time is it? It's up to you how you work this out now. You might want to go straight in counting in 5s, or you might want to go straight down to your half past, which we know is 30, and take away, go count backwards. I'm going to try it that way this time. So I know that this is 30, so I'm going to count backwards now. 30, 29, 28, 27 minutes. And it's past 1 still, 27 minutes past 1, or if I was writing it on a digital clock, it'd be 1:27. See if we got it right. They did it the opposite way to me that time. They went to 25 past. 27 minutes past 1, or 1:27. Well done if you got that right. Okay, have a go at this one again. What exact time is it? Have a little go. See if you can figure it out. Remember to use what you know, counting in 5s, and then counting on or counting back. Have you got it? I hope so. So if I was counting in 5s, I'd go 5, 10, 15, 20, and then count on 21, 22, 23 minutes past. Or I could have gone to 25 minutes past and counted back, 25, 24, 23 minutes past. It gives me the same answer. You can count on or back. 23 minutes past, and we're back at our 12, 23 minutes past 12. And as a digital, I would write that as 12 dot dot 23, 12:23. Let's see if we can have a go answering this question together. What exact time will the train arrive? So they're waiting for their train, they've got to be ready because they're so precise. What time is it going to arrive? Have a look at the clock. See if you can figure out what the time is. I'll just give you 30 seconds. We'll do it together. So my hour is now at 2. It's not quite on the 3. So that's my hour. And my minutes, I'm going to count in fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27. I'm just going to double check because I know this is 30 minutes past. 30, 29, 28, 27 minutes past 2. 27 minutes past 2. Well done if you got that right. There we go, 27 minutes past 2. If I was writing it on a digital clock, I would write it as 2:27, 2:27. Well done. So if I just stop the share there on that, and I'm going to show you another way that you can look at this also, if I can find it. Sorry, that's not the right one. Sorry, children, but didn't quite have it up there. So here we go. This is a teaching clock here, and you can get this up yourself as well. It is on Top Marks teaching clock. And here you can see you can change the minute intervals here. So it's a really good way of having a little practice of this, because you can set any time that you like. There we go, there's one there. You can see on here as well the little mini increments in between, the 1 minute increments. Remember, these little ones represent 1 minute, and we know these larger numbers here represent 5 minutes. So let's have a look at this time here then. So my hour is pointing to 11, and then here you can see this minute hand is pointing here on this increment here. Well, I know 5, 10, 15, this is 20, 21, 22 minutes past 11. Okay, and then if you click on here, it shows you how you would write that as a digital time, 11:22. So it's a good idea when you're doing your activities to have this teaching clock up if you can, with your worksheet that you're going to do. I'm going to show you that now so that you can have a little play around and make sure that you've got it right when you look at the clock. I'll just stop that share there for now. So what you're going to do today for me is you're going to do a worksheet where you're going to have to draw the time to the exact minute, or write the time to the exact minute. So if I get it up for you to have a little look so you know what you're doing. So here's your activity here. You've got this in your OneDrive folder. So you are group 1. And this is today's work to tell the time to the nearest minute. So you've got some times here. Now the clocks, you can just about see the small increments there in between. So just make sure that if you've got a ruler, you use a ruler to draw hands. Add the hands to each clock, carefully adding the minute hand accurately. So just be really careful. So you're looking at the digital time, and then you are adding the hands on there carefully. Remember that the minute hand is the longer hand on the clock. So there are a few for you to do there. Then you'll notice that 2 of these have got stars on them. So when you've done all of the hands on there, what I would like you to do is have a go at writing those times in words. So my examples here are 15 minutes past 7, 9 minutes past 8. So just on those 2 questions that are starred there, I'd like you to have a go at doing that for me as well when you've completed that. Once you've done all of this sheet, and you feel confident that you've done it all right, I get an adult to check it for you, and you've done your 2 star questions at the bottom, what we would like you to do then is to pop yourself onto Maths Frame. Now you have to have a login for this, which is on your overview, Maths overview for the week. And if you click into Maths Frame, there's a little game you can play to finish off, just to show that you've understood your learning. And you want activity 5, read time to the minute. leave the 12-hour clock and the timing on, and then it will generate a time for you, and you have to tell me what the time is, or tell the bear what the time is. So there's the hour 11, and look, it's on that little increment there, and I know this is 30 minutes past, 31, 32, 33, so I make it 11:33. And you get a score over here, and your time's going down, so it's how many you can get in that time. So have a little go at that. So remember, that was activity 5. If I go back to the menu, activity 5 there as an extension. So you do your worksheet, your 2 stars, and then activity 5 on maths frame. And all I did there was put maths frame telling the time into Google, if you need any help with that. So I'm hoping that that is enough for you to get on with, and that you understand it all. Time is a bit of a challenge, so take your time, do your best, and then hopefully we can move on to something again tomorrow. Good luck, and I'm sure you'll be brilliant.